Over the past 4 years, I've sent millions of cold emails for hundreds of B2B tech companies, and out of all the templates we've tested, there are 4 that consistently book the most meetings. We're talking 3% plus reply rate, 20% plus positive reply, and campaigns that generate 50 plus meetings per month. Today, I'm going to break down all 4 on screen. I'll show you the exact structure, explain why they work, and give you the framework so you can copy them for your own campaigns. Let's get into it. Now, copywriting is a creative aspect, and most people are not good at it. But don't worry, I'm going to cover the foundational framework of cold email copy. One thing to keep in mind is that what works for one person might not work for another. Most people prefer to read shorter email, but some might want more context. So one of the most important things when it comes to copywriting is testing. I call it ABT, always be testing. You need to always be testing to see what works for you. Similar to other channels, every cold email has 3 core elements: hook, body, and CTA. First, the hook. This is your first line. Its only job is to earn the right to be read. If your hook fails, nothing else matters. They've already deleted your email. Second, the body. This is where you show why it matters to them. Notice I say to them, not why you matter in general. This is about relevance. Third, the CTA. This is where you make it easy to respond. Hook, the body, then CTA, in that order. Now, here's where most people screwed up. They lead with themselves. We're a company that does XYZ, or they jump straight into an ask like, book a call with me. Both fail because they skip the hook. The hook is what earns the attention. Without it, nothing else gets read. Think of it this way. The hook gets the prospect to keep reading. The body gets the prospect to consider, and the CTA gets the prospect to reply. If any one of them is weak, the whole thing breaks. And when in doubt, you can use a framework that I personally developed, TFKD, Think, Feel, Know, Do. It's a 4-sentence cold email, each sentence on its own line. First sentence, make the prospect think about the problem. Second sentence, make the prospect feel the pain. Third sentence, let the prospect know your solution exists. Fourth sentence, wrap it up with a call to action. TFKD, Think, Feel, Know, Do. Keep that in your back pocket. Now, let me show you exactly how that plays out in 4 real templates. The first template is what I call the ask first. And the psychology behind this one is simple. Most cold email lead with a pitch. Hey, we do XYZ. Want to book a call? Now, the problem is the prospect doesn't know you. They don't trust you, and they immediately know that they are being sold to. So the ask first template flips that. Instead of pitching right away, you open with a question. A question that makes them think about their current situation. This lowers resistance immediately because now they're not being sold to, they're being asked. And people always respond to questions better than pitches. Here is the structure. Line 1 is an open-ended question that acts kind of like a CTA. Line 2 identifies a trigger or an observation about a business. Line 3 points out a potential problem you've identified. And line 4 ties in how your solution solves it. So here's what it looks like in practice. Line 1, open with a question right away. Something like, hey Will, think this would help your outbound. No intro, no pitch, just a question. Line 2 is the observation. You're hiring new AEs. Despite the same process, some reps get results and others don't. Line 3 is the problem. Our product gives you a clearer picture on why things work. We've seen it identifying clear personalization plays for the team to use. Line 4 is the soft close. Figure that might be relevant with the new focus up market. Think this might be relevant? The beauty of this is the reply you get isn't just not interested, it's an actual answer to your question, and that opens the entire conversation. Now, the results we've seen on this template, we typically see 4 to 5% reply rate, and about 30% of them are interested replies. It works especially well for early stage founders and heads of sales, people who are actively in the weeds of building their pipeline. The second template is what I call not too different, and here's why this one works. Most core emails are about the sender. We do X, we work with Y, we've helped Z. It's all about who you are. The not too different framework flips that. You lead with who you already work with, not who you are. That builds instant credibility because the prospect reads it and thinks this person already works with people like me. It's a pattern interruption, and it immediately lowers the who are you question. Here's the structure. Line 1, stay who you work with. Similar personas to your prospect. Line 2, say the situation is probably not too different. Line 3, list the common problems people in the position face. Line 4, ask if any of that resonates. Here's what it looks like. Line 1. Hey Sarah, I work with founders of B2B SaaS companies who are responsible for driving demand and awareness to their brands. Line 2. Figure your situation probably isn't too different. Line 3. They tell me they struggle with things like not engaging with the right audience and being unable to quantify ROI from partners, typically leading to pipeline headaches or worse, missing target. Line 4. Any of that resonates? If not, no worries. Now, what makes this work is being specific about the problem, not generic, specific. So if you say struggling with sales, that's too broad. Nobody identifies with that. But if you say rely too heavy on referrals and don't have a repeatable outbound process, that's so specific that the right person immediately thinks that's me. Now, we've seen this work really well across B2B SaaS, professional services, and tech agencies. Reply rates hover around 2 to 3%, and about 40% of them are interested replies. And the quality of replies is high because you're self-qualifying as you go. Now, if you're watching this and thinking you want someone to actually write all these emails for you and run the campaigns, here's a link in the description to book a call. We've done this for hundreds of B2B tech companies. We write a copy, we build the infrastructure, we manage the campaign, and if we don't hit the results that you want, we keep working for free until we do. But let me show you the last two templates because these are the highest converting ones we use. The third template is the quantitative outcome template, and this one is powerful for a very specific reason. Decision makers think in numbers. When you can quantify the impact of what you do, they don't have to imagine the ROI. You've already done the math for them. Most cold emails say something like, we help companies increase revenue. Cool, by how much? Over what time period? Compared to what baseline? The quantitative outcome template forces you to do the math, and it signals the prospect that you actually did your research. Here's the structure. Line 1, a trigger with a number attached, if possible. Line 2, a quick pitch about the specific impact you deliver. Line 3, a calculation that shows what it's worth to them. Line 4, ask if it's worth a quick chat. Here's what it looks like in practice. Line 1, Mary, I noticed your company has about 5 sales reps. Line 2, we help SaaS teams book 3 to 5 extra meetings per rep per week through cold outreach. Line 3, at 5 reps, that's potentially 15 to 25 extra meetings a month. If you close even one deal from that, it likely pays for our service many times over. Line 4, what's the quick chat to see if the math makes sense for you? See what happened there? You started with a real data point about the company, then you apply math, specific math. The prospect can now do the ROI calculation in their head, and if the numbers work, the yes becomes easy. This framework works specifically well for companies with visible headcount or funding data. So use LinkedIn, Crunchbase, or a quick Google search gives you the trigger. We typically see 3 to 5% reply rates with this one, and about 35% of them are interested replies. And the sales cycle tends to be shorter because you've already pre-sold the value before they even reply. The last one is what we call the site-made special. This is the framework we use for our highest value prospects. And here's what makes it different. It starts with real research, not just I noticed your job title, actual research into the product, the company, something specific about their business. Then it transitions into a problem you observe. Then it ties that problem to a case study with a real outcome. It feels completely custom. Because it is. Here's the structure. Line 1, a personalized observation about a product or company, something specific. Line 2, a problem or gap you notice based on that research. Line 3, a relevant case study with a specific outcome. Line 4, ask if it's worth exploring. Here's what a real example look like. Line 1, hey Steve, I was checking out some of your products and looks like the iPhone 13 Pro might be the best option for the new model. Line 2, anyway, I tried to check out but wasn't able to pay with crypto. Line 3, now notice I combined line 2 and line 3 here because they are pretty short, so I want to make it in the same line. But line 3, BlackBerry implemented crypto payments and their sales went up by 12.1 million in Q1. Line 4, not sure if it's a fit, but is this worth exploring further? Let me break down what's actually happening. Line 1 shows you did the research. That alone separates you from 99% of cold emails in the inbox. Line 2 shows you understand their specific challenge, not a generic challenge, their challenge. Line 3, or in this case, I merged that with line 2, but line 3 gives them the social proof with numbers, not we helped company like you, but we took them from A to B in 90 days. And line 4 makes it easy to say yes. No big ask, just a conversation. This is our highest converting template. We consistently see 4 to 6% reply rates on this one, and about 40% of them are interested reply. And the prospects who reply tend to be the most qualified because they know you've actually done your homework. So those are the 4 templates. As first, for lowering resistance, not too different for building credibility, quantitative outcome from making ROI obvious, and the site made special for fueling personal at scale. Every single one of them has booked 50 plus meetings for our clients. The key is picking the right template for the right prospect and testing until you find what clicks. If you want us to write these for you and run the campaign, click the first link in the description. We handle everything from the copy to the infrastructure to the inbox management. And if we don't hit the results that you want, we work for you for free until we do. As always, eyes on the stars, I'm rooting for you, and I'll see you in the next video.